Before we get to weather, Casey is also in studio this morning. She has a very cool thing from Seattle Opera. Good morning.
Yes, the Tales of Hoffmann is the current opera. We've brought in the marionette artist. So coming up in a few minutes, he's going to show us how they work and how they play into the show right now. Very cool.
Whoa, that's great stuff.
All right, well, still ahead. On the way here, he's a popular Seattle puppeteer.
Kind of a master in his craft. And coming up next, Casey hanging out with the man who built the marionettes for the Seattle Opera's latest show.
Oh, those are so cool.
The Tales of Hoffmann happening at Seattle Opera right now, and Casey hanging out with the man in charge of creating the stars of the show, or some of them, as it were, the marionettes. Case.
That's right. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, this is Rob D'Arc. It's really good to have you here with your friends.
Thank you. Good morning, Casey. How are you?
I'm good. Now, so these play a part in the Tales of Hoffmann. At what point do they appear?
They're in the third act. They start the third act, and they're on stage for a whopping 2 minutes. So you're getting a much better view of them right now than you will on the stage. But
how long have you been doing this?
I've been making puppets professionally for 34 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been in Seattle since 2001, and I make and sell puppets at the Pike Place Market as well, but not as fancy as these.
Well, you made these specifically for this show. Talk about that.
Well, the opera contacted me back in 2005 for the first production of Tales of Hoffmann, and they wanted very specific things, and so we talked a lot about the different movements of the puppets and the costumes and things like that. The costume department did all of this beautiful work.
That's amazing.
The opera's costume department, but I did the sculpting and the mold making and casting, and I made the marionettes and the controls, and I teach the opera singers how to operate them on stage because I don't get to perform them.
Can you help me out, maybe?
Sure.
Because I'd like to see how it looks really complicated.
Well, actually, the whole idea is that the puppeteer is working both puppets, one in each hand, and so the puppets had to be really, really simple, and so just a simple movement of the thumb gets the feet to go. So if you put your thumb right there,
okay,
and then put them down on the ground. Whoa, not that far. There you go. And you're going to try and move forward. There you go. Oh, wait, well, you took a big step.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
He was feeling very self-assured.
He's an opera singer, but today he's a ballet. He's in ballet. He's going to do a pirouette.
So you had to teach the perfers how to do this.
Both,
how long did
both
that
performers.
Take?
There's two gentlemen playing the character of Dappertudo, the puppeteer, in the third act, and it took. Well, we didn't have much time, but there's a lot for them to learn. But there's a lot of technical things. But this is just a very small part of all of the stage magic in this production. There's so much to see. There's also two sets of marionettes. There's a gold cast and a silver cast Hoffmann. This is Hoffmann and Giulietta, the courtesan that charms him, and we had a costume change for her. So it was such a fast costume change that we decided to make a second marionette.
How long does it take you to make the marionette?
That's a really good question.
A long time.
Well, between me and the costume shop and all of the folks in the prop department, there's thousands of man hours in each puppet, and a lot of work. But the puppets I make and sell at the Pike Place Market are a lot quicker, so they're much cheaper, so affordable for everybody at Planet of the Puppets. And
I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's such a great thing to see, and for people who haven't seen the show, it's a fun moment towards the end of the show, right? They're actually kind of mirroring the characters.
There's a beautiful gondola scene where Giulietta comes out of a gondola, and then Hoffmann and Giulietta puppets get into a miniature gondola and go off stage, and it's a real showstopper. It's during the Barcarolle, which is the most beautiful piece of music in the show, in my opinion. So in the Offenbach show.
Rob, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing these here. We really appreciate it.
You did good for your first time.
It's hard to see when they're like stomping on the ground versus...
And you don't want to get in their light either, because they get very upset about that.
I can tell. They have that look on their face.
Exactly. They don't like it.
And the show itself, The Tales of Hoffmann, runs through the 17th, so go to seattleopera.org for more details. Back over to you guys.
All right. I love that stuff. That is so cool. Are you looking